Hey, you're at Steve Morris Engines. I am Steve Morris, believe it or not. But this, I'm going to show you the whole tuning process because this kind of fits in with what's going on with the Wagon and the Wagon engine because this is a clone to the Wagon engine. It does have a couple little subtle differences, and I'll point that out to you. This is 572 cubic inch. Yes, it does have the old series piston. If you don't know what I mean by the old series piston, I'm not going to explain it to you. Don't ask the question because I need you to just go watch the other video on the piston delete. So if you go watch the piston delete video, you'll know everything I'm talking about. So it does have the old piston in it, so we're not going to lean on it super hard, but I don't lean on these max. I mean, that's 55 pounds of boost. I'm not going to put 55 pounds of boost to it here on the engine dyno because it's just getting big numbers and it's not really relevant. Okay, so anyways. This is one of my SMXs, 572 cubic inch, Fuel Tech EFI, Hearts, 110 millimeter turbos. I screwed up and I was thinking they're 114s. These are 110s. These are the exact same turbos that we're putting on the Wagon when we get that engine all redone. Pretty much same, or this has the same oil system, the same fuel pump system, the same fuel system, the same turbos now is what we're putting on the Wagon, and I know that these are better. And same ignition system, Fuel Tech Spark 8, complete Fuel Tech system. This one's a little bit different in that I have three sets of 220 pound per hour Deca injectors in it. Now, when we put these injectors at 90 psi, they basically flow 300. It's actually like 295 or something like that, but basically 300 pounds per hour per injector. I have three of them. So 3 times 300 means 900. Now, the one really nice thing about these, I mean, I like my Fuel Tech injectors, but these things are really accurate. These little small OEM injectors like this. That's why I have three of them in there. So you can see down here, there's the third set. So this is a drag and drive motor for Matt Hobbs. So when we're driving this thing and on pump gas, we're going to have this thing. I have to figure out how we're going to do the fuel pumps, but it'll just transition really easily into driving the exact same injectors on gasoline. We'll just shut two of them off and just run one. So the exact same injectors on 91 whatever pump gas at the street. So what we'll do here is I'm going to show you the process. So we have gotten it running. I told you in one of the last videos on this that we were struggling because I was trying to make it work one more time with a 4-magnet dampener, 4-magnet crank trigger wheel basically, and just you can't do it. Don't even bother. Just always put a 12 - 1 on Fuel Tech stuff, and you'll save yourself a lot of hassle. So we have that done. I have everything started, running, and just done a real short base pull on wastegates just to see what it's at. And so right now we're going to do the first pull at 15 psi on methanol. So this is methanol, 15 psi. We're going to look at the tune-up, and I'll show you stuff on there and show you how we go about the process. So like I said, we've already started it up. So here is the process on any engine. Get it to start. Get it to go rum rum, right? Get it to rev up, all right? Then get it to go up at a steady RPM. Will it hold at RPM? Once you got those three things done, now that's after you set the timing, after you've pedal jerked around with it, but verified all the mechanics. So we've done exactly that. Starts up, revs up, we'll hold a solid or steady load. So then we'll come in, we'll make a short pull, look at the data, and back up a little bit. I've already done that short pull. So now we're going to do a full pull because I've already done a couple short pulls here, sneaking up on RPM. And now we're going to do the full pull, at 8,000 RPM. So everything's looking really good. We'll do this. And then I'll show you how we're going to, using the the Fuel Tech boost controller. Then we'll show you, we'll add more boost to it. and look at all numbers there. So let's explain one other thing is, so I am giving a good base tune, making sure the engine is all right before this even goes in the car, before they wire this all in, before they do anything, before this brings us back for hub dyno, just to make sure everything's right, everything's cool, there's nothing wrong with this motor. If it doesn't make any power in the car, if it's got some problems, there's running issues, any kind of issues, we know that it was fine here, so it's got to be the car. So it's one good bonus of doing engine dyno. Is it extremely long and hard pressed to put all this together on the engine dyno? Yes. Do I feel that it's worth it? Yes, I do. You would feel it's worth it if you spend all that time, you drive some guy's hub dyno, you get it on there and the thing's got a big problem and it doesn't run, doesn't work, or it breaks. That sucks. And when I build the engine here, if I have a problem or an issue, I take care of it before you ever get it. So make that easy. So let's go out there and we'll run this thing. So like I said again, 572, 110 millimeter Hartz turbos, super cool. So let's go out there and make this full pull, because it's making pretty good horsepower for just 15 pounds of boost. So let's make a run on it and see what it looks like. Alrighty, so let's take a look at the numbers. This is pretty good, so I'm super happy with that. 2105 at 8,000, and it's still, that might be me pulling back a little bit, and I really don't give a crap about the number. That one might be off a little bit because I think it's leveling off here, and I'll show you in the data log and the boost controller that I actually have it boost ramping out at 8,000, so it would have been going down naturally. But it's still, it's in that 2100 horsepower area. And I'm not super concerned about where this is at because it's never really going to run at 15 pounds of boost. Let me show you that. And we're ramping boost in. So let me show you that real quick. And always remember, big cubic inch engines with big turbos always have this really super sweet spot, man. They just make all sorts of power. It's not a linear line that just keeps on going up like that. It basically goes up and then it just starts rolling over as boost numbers go up. Okay, so 15 pounds of boost means almost 2100 horsepower here, but 30 pounds of boost, doubling that 1 atmosphere condition. If you're saying that horsepower would theoretically double for every 14.5 pounds of boost, which it does not, but I might backpedal on that. I'm sure there's a theory that says it does, but that in the real world practicality, it doesn't. This does not make 4,200 horsepower at 30 pounds of boost. It just does not. Okay. It'll be really good, but it ain't gonna make that kind of horsepower. So let's go back and we'll look at the. Let's go here. We'll look at the boost. I'll show you that. That there is. Let me scroll down all the way down at the bottom. So we're at 3.8 pounds of boost at 3,800. And that's right, because I got a 3 PSI spring in it. And right here, you are at 15.79 pounds of boost at 8,000 RPM. So that is really nice. But like I said, that's a really good turbo, a really good engine. Low boost, low RPM, or high RPM, but low boost, and you know, just in a really sweet, efficient spot. So super happy with that. Let's go over here and I'll show you the we'll go over here and I'll show you the Fuel Tech data log right over there. All right, now here is the data log right from that pull, and I really like the data logging from Fuel Tech. Really nice. I like, there's a couple little things that I really like, and one of these little things is I love being able to come over here and highlight something, and it will, you know, makes the line thicker right away, so you can see it real easy, which is cool. I think I might even do that. But this line change color is just really handy for just one click line change color. It's nice. Just one of those simple little things that amuses me. But anyways, as we look here, we can see that if we go down into the bottom of the graph where it just starts loading the engine, it starts pulling it backwards actually to start to load and start spooling up, we can see right away this thing pretty much as soon as it goes to wide open throttle. I mean, it's 1.162. I mean, it's pretty much on the gate right here right away. Within it's within from going wide open throttle, which is right there. So wide open throttle to on our gate, I mean, that is 1 second. So I mean, it spools up really quick, and then it hovers right there because I'm not asking it for any more boost, and it just starts creeping up a little bit there, 3.8, because there I'm starting to ask for a little bit. I'm starting to put a little bit of pressure on the gate. This wastegate target excuse me, wastegate target is dome pressure. So that's how much dome pressure we're adding on top of the wastegate in order to add more boost. So where we're normally looking, because I have so much data information on my engine, you know, and this is a clone, so that little guy right there is a clone to my engine minus the wood grain, 572 and all of them. So I mean, I know what they require for timing. I already have all that down. So everything we're doing here is just working on fuel map stuff. Okay, so we can see down here at the bottom, and so what we've done here is we've already gone through some stuff. I've already started cleaning stuff up. We're at like 15% correction right there, taking 15% out at 4,000. 5,000, you know, we're taking 11% out, and 6,000 we're taking 5% out, 6%, and up here at 7,000 we are taking 1% out. So the tune-up is pretty decent. I'm not really super concerned with anything under 10% for dyno tuning. I'll make it a little bit closer than that. I like to be around in the 5% range, but it's always going to correct something, so always keep that in mind. And then as we go to 8,000 RPM, it goes back up to 9%. So let me show you how we move this over, overlay this information on our fuel log, and I just make a quick change, and then bada bing, bada boom, whoops. We go fuel table overlay. Now this is kind of neat and handy. You know, here is, you can see I'm moving the cursor back and forth, and which is showing me exactly where it runs. So all in those blue lines is where it's running. We know that right there it was taking out 10. So I'll just kind of highlight this entire area here. Okay, and I'm just gonna go M.95. So that's multiplied by 0.95 or 5%. Take that out real quick. Bada bing. Then I am going to smooth this. So I change this all 5%. I'll just come down here, drag this area, do a vertical interpolation. Come over here, do a horizontal interpolation. And what this is doing is just kind of smoothing out our 3D graph. And down here, where it was taking out a bunch of fuel, I'll take out, we know it's think we'll go here. I'm going to do it just another 5% to get it down closer to 10. Down here, because it never really runs at 4,000, it's probably never even going to be on the brake at 4,000. I'm not super concerned about that. Some of these things here we're going to fix on the track in order to be more efficient. Otherwise, we're just going to end up changing it there again anyways. I could make it perfect here, and it won't be perfect at the track. It just won't. So we're going to always finalize stuff at the track. It doesn't matter if you're on chassis dyno, what you're on, a hub dyno. I mean, it just doesn't matter. It's always going to, the final tune is always done at the track. It's just a fact of life. And it should be pretty minimal, but it should be always done at the track. Okay? So now we just send to the ECU here. All right, so I've made my fuel corrections. I already have my timing. Timing's all set. I'll show you that table real quick. This is just on my engine. This has no bearing to anybody else's engine other than mine, to the SMX. All right, no other bearing on anything. 50 pounds of boost, this thing's going to have, 22 degrees of timing. 40 pounds of boost, it's going to have 23. 30 pounds of boost, it's going to have 24. That's nice, easy, super safe timing. We could probably put more in it, but there's really no point in doing it. Now I'm going to show you, since we just went over data log, I made those corrections, so that's all cool. Now we're going to add 10 more pounds of boost and make another pull. Okay, so you come over here, just go to our wastegate boost control, just past it, there we go. Now on engine dyno, we're only doing this in and here I've already changed this, I'm sorry, because this was 12. Okay, so we do this per engine RPM. So sorry, I've done a little bit of work on this while I was camera off. So I've already changed this. This was 12. Okay, like this, and then right there at 8,000, it just dumps a bunch of boost out of it. Okay, so we were at 12. We're gonna move this thing up to 23. So basically adding 11 on the gate. We smooth it, just ramp it so it's easy on the dyno and acceleration. Now, when you are doing, when you are on the track, everybody at the track on drag race application does some form of time based. So from the moment of letting go of the trans brake button, it starts a boost curve. All right, you don't do it RPM wise because it would always be changing. So we always want to have boost on a time based from moment of release, okay, of trans brake. So we're going to write that to ECU. We are now going to hopefully make somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 pounds of boost. Not worried if it's right dead nuts on it. Never mind. We're just working on our fuel table. Now I'm showing you. I want to smooth that out. I don't like that. And here we'll just interpolate this just a little bit. Horizontal. And horizontal. There we go. These are really minimal numbers right through here. Not concerned about that. So I always like to have my 3D graph. Always needs to look what is normal. This is a normal looking 3D graph. Okay. More boost, more fuel. All right. Now we go to our secondary fuel. I'm not doing much adjustment there because the secondary injector is just a single injector. It's just the one that's underneath the intake manifold, underneath the port. So it is more like just making sure it's a fuel adder. And so as long as we have lots of margin and lots of room in the primary, the two uppers, that's our primary, the two uppers, because Fuel Tech does not drive 3 separate sets. So the top 2 injectors are piggybacked together, which is perfectly good. Okay, perfectly fine. So here, that's what our primary looks like. And I'll probably come in here and just, some of this stuff bugs me because I want it to be really smooth. And we're changing, numbers like a few pounds of fuel at a time, which is next to nothing. but I'm just fanatical about it. I just like to have things look correct and look the way I want them to in my head. So when I look at a fuel table, I can give it a glance and tell you if it's all screwed up. And if there's no holes or any pockets, or if somebody's tuning it only where the engine runs instead of tuning it across the broad spectrum. The spectrum is probably the wrong word, the whole table. So we want to do that. So that's all cool. I'm super happy with that. No problem. We already did the boost control. I'll send this to ECU one more time. And now we'll make another hit on this thing with 25 pounds of boost. Hopefully 25 pounds of boost in the intake manifold. Probably be close. It might be 1 or 2 pounds short if I had to guess. So let's make a good hit on this thing. It's my Greta sticker for you. I'll move this over just a bit and raise this up. There we go. So let's start this up and now I'll show you something really cool. Watch that turbo. Spin, spin, spin. Still spinning. Still spinning. And done. So that is one of the, I mean, that's freed up turbo speed and quickness and and all that other stuff. So I mean, really super cool. I'm excited to be putting that exact same turbo on my engine. Well, not those turbos, those are Matt's, but I mean the exact same turbo. Let's go over here, look at the horsepower numbers, and actually I just brought up the boost number because I wanted to check that out real quick and see where we're at, because I think I might have to throw some more pressure on the gate, obviously, because it did not make 28 or 25. Oh, it did. It's pretty darn close. 24.72. All right. So that is pretty good. Oil pressure is still looking good. We're getting temperature in oil, so it's getting down just a tick below 100. Let's look at the horsepower number here. Now, like I said, this is not a linear number. Now, another thing are my timing number. So now we're getting into the area of where we're ramping in boost, and you can see it gets really aggressive right up here, and you can hear it get really aggressive. It starts opening up the wastegates and making a lot of noise inside the dyno room, which is cool. And so that just made 2,700 horsepower, so 2,698, so 2,700 horsepower. So we were probably just a tick high. So I mean, that's picked up 2,700 horsepower, so that's 600 horsepower for that 10 pounds of boost. Now, it would pick up more if I had more timing in it, but we already showed that I'm probably like at 20, I think we were at 24 pounds or 24 degrees of timing at 30. So we're probably like a 25-ish or so, 26 maybe at 25 pounds of boost, like right here. So we're pretty short on timing for that amount of boost. But I don't care, because I know the timing table, I want to stay static right up there. I don't want to mess with that timing table because I know that works everywhere down the track is fine. So we could be making bigger numbers, but this thing is probably short, probably 5-6 degrees of timing. Probably would really like to have at least 30 degrees of timing at that 25 pounds of boost. But I know where this thing wants to be at the track. So it's dumped a whole bunch of timing off right there versus where it was at 15 degrees. I think it had like a 32 degrees of timing or so at that 15 pounds of boost. So it definitely had a lot more there. But I'm still real happy with this. That's good like that. And we're not hunting for the biggest numbers. We're just hunting for what this thing actually will do and actually does make and goes down track with. Right in these numbers, this engine also is not going to run at 25 pounds of boost at the track. Maybe at the very minimal, first pass for the car, and that's why we'll have it there. But realistically, there's never going to be a time this thing is never going to make more than 30 pounds of boost, 35 pounds of boost always. So that's what we're going to come back and hit up next. We know this was 25, so we did hit it pretty good. Kyle just downloaded the data log, so let's come over here and see where we're at, because what are we doing? We are just working on our fuel map to make sure our fuel map is looking good. So we'll drop the camera down, try to get this in closer for you so you can see. All right, and I think I got the scaled wrong. Edit, I do. Yep. 9. Let's put 9,000 there. No. Oh, I see. 9,000. This will just change our scaling for the dialogue. There we go. So we ran that one up to 8,200 RPM, 8,250 right there, and our boost according to Fuel Tech was 24.4. That's looking good. So I mean, that's still 100, more than 100 horsepower per pound of boost. And you see our timing is actually, you know what, our timing right there is 26 at 25. So yeah, that's pretty close to what I thought it was gonna be. I think I just said it was gonna be around 25 or so, 24, 25. Definitely would like to be about 30 degrees of timing. And if it was at, let's go back to our main table, just out of curiosity now, what was, oh, here we go, that's done, hold on. Let's go back to our first log. Our timing was, yeah, 28, almost 29 at 15, which is still kind of low too, but pretty close to 30, which is nice, good, easy, safe spot. Now we've knocked out 4 degrees of timing, and we're under timed right now. And I do like this too. This is a nice thing on the data logging for Fuel Tech. One log, the other log. I mean, it's just super quick, easy. Now let's look at our air fuel ratios. Are looking good and safe. These are also same air fuel ratios I'm already using in Bailey's car, everybody's car, my car, Bailey's car. Mine is the most parallel to this because mine is Fuel Tech and Holly's is Tom Bailey's is Holly. So not a direct comparison, so I don't like to do that. But Fuel Tech, yeah, no problem. And our fuel percentage, so this thing, because I've done a good job of building a table ahead of time and just knowing where things are going to go, that is, let's get rid of that. Let's get our O2 correction up here. Right here, you know, and it's 12%, adding a little bit of fuel there. Oh, yep, see, so right here at this spot, we need to add, I'm going to add some fuel because it's adding 14% right there. And then over here, we are taking away 11%. So I'm going to go in there, fix that thing, and we're going to add another 10 pounds of boost, which is going to give us up that 35 pounds. So I'm going to fix the fuel. Timing's all set. Going to go back to that, go back to the boost control. and add some boost right back up there again. I think I'll bring it in a little bit quicker up here so it's not all just right at the end. Yeah, actually, I'm going to change my mind. I want to run this right at 30 pounds of boost and then do the final at 40 pounds of boost. So we're going to, we were at 23. I'm going to add or make 7 more right there and see how I move that up and get a little more aggressive. And still at 8,000 RPM, it's going to dump a bunch of boost out of it. And remember, this is nothing that's going down the track. This is for dyno purposes only, for building the fuel curve. So this should make 30 pounds of boost. So we have done 15, 25, 30, and we'll take a look at our numbers there. Alrighty, check out that turbo still spinning. They cracked me up. They're just so darn good. Just the bearing assembly, everything, it's really nice. Now, you probably noticed that I gotta move that. I didn't even notice it. That wastegate is pointed right out there. I gotta move that because it blew crap all over the place. So I'm gonna need to go in there and do that. But we're gonna show you these numbers real quick. And this is looking right spot on money normal. Now, let's see where we're at. If I did make 30 pounds of boost, where we're at. So it made 3,034 at 8,100. I ran it out just a little bit farther. And actually, I know I ran it out a little bit higher than 81. But I started seeing stuff flying around in the dyno room, so I pulled back real quick. Let's see here. Report. Oh, made right there. Yeah, good. 29.86. So it's this is still reading just a tick high. It's maybe like 29, but whatever. So not real concerned about that. And now that's where you start seeing. So from here forward, we start seeing. You get to the magic spot where it's will make 100, and we're still low on timing because this will be 20. We already determined it's going to be 23 or 24 at 30 pounds of boost, which is super safe, like no big deal whatsoever, and we're safe on fuel, super safe on fuel. So we could make more horsepower. It really isn't a problem. That's not the whole point of this deal. We want to make sure everything's right. This thing's making good horsepower because we're going to sort this out at the track where the most important part is. I know that, let's see, in my car, so my car weighs 3,600 pounds, 3,625, and at a 30 PSI tune-up, let me think here, 30 PSI tune-up, I think it goes 470s, and 7 flat. I think it'll even go probably. I think it'll go about 690 at like a 205. I think it is. I haven't run very much stuff there. I mean, after we went past there, didn't really care after that. So onward and forward to better things. But that looks real good. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna look at the fuel map. make any adjustments on it. I'm happy with that tune-up right there. Next one we're gonna make is the 40 pounds of boost setup, and I know where that all runs, and that's pretty good. So come back tomorrow and we're going to show you the 40-pound tune-up and show you some more stuff on hopefully I have some more work done on the repair work on the SMX wagon. So I am Steve Morris, and have a great day.